This is Tim with Redoubt News. We're in Hamilton, Montana, where we just completed a field hearing with Congressman Gianforte, and I'm with Representative Theresa Manzella, who's been one of our warriors here in the state of Montana, fighting for common sense and constitutional rights of the people. Theresa, would you like to just let people know what you think of what happened here at the meeting, and hopefully maybe what you see coming from this exercise?
Thanks for the opportunity, Tim. I really appreciate Representative Gianforte hosting the event and giving the opportunity for our public to see what's going on and to ask the appropriate questions of our commissioners and our land managers. I thought it was a nice exchange. I think Mr. Stem was right on the mark with his comments in that the layers upon layers upon layers of regulation are absolutely paralyzing and crippling for the agency. And in my review of NEPA, it's 7 pages long. It's only 7 pages long, but obviously somewhere along the line they have been given rulemaking authority to create a paralyzing document that creates a situation where we have to do these environmental impact studies for up to 7 years before we can make a decision on anything. And I see that. I see the layers and layers of regulation as being a huge obstacle in our path. NEPA specifically indicates that we need to recognize our customs, culture, and history of the area. And quite frankly, our customs and culture and history are not being respected in the current land management plans, in my opinion. In 1950, we had 245,000 cows grazing in the Bitterroot Valley. By 1992, that number had dropped to 8,000, a 95% reduction.
Kind of like the Cows Free in '93 slogan that was going around, where we are seeing it live, alive, and well, right?
Exactly. And those cows not only gave us reasonable food prices at our grocery stores and fed America a healthy protein source, but it also kept our understory cleaned up and did a lot to manage our lands. And just that one issue needs to be addressed. You know, just that one issue in regulations would do a lot to address our land management issues.
One of the things that we heard a lot of in this meeting was talk about collaboration and local collaborative groups working towards singing kumbaya, if you will, on the forest health and management. I never heard the word coordination once mentioned in that hearing, and after the hearing concluded, I asked Congressman Gianforte if he was willing to get coordination back into Rule 219 where it used to be, so we'd have the authority to bring local government back on the table. And his program is working towards that, as he stated, and I think that's something that you have looked at into extensively, because it is a tool that gets the people a really true seat at the table.
Absolutely, you're absolutely 100% on target with that. And creating a detailed land use plan for the purpose of coordinating and giving us a strong negotiation seat at the table when we are interfacing with the federal agencies is vitally, vitally important. And that's why I have been collecting historical data to establish what was the customs and culture and heritage and history in our valley. What created our economic base? When we had 245,000 cattle grazing in the Bitterroot Valley, what did that do for our economy? That was our economic base, and that was our tax structure. And as we have eliminated that, 95% of those cows have been removed. What's taken the place? What has taken the place of that? We need to know those things, and every one of those cows needs to have a dollar value assigned on it. Every tree needs to have a dollar assignment to it, so that we can say, look, these fires are costing our county, our economy, our tax base X amount of dollars, and the number would be devastating.
So with the conclusion of this hearing today, do you anticipate our legislature in the state of Montana going to be able to take some strides in moving any of our ideas forward? I know it's an uphill battle because we got a lot of folks that don't agree with proactive management. But at the same token, you know, like I said in your introduction, you've been a warrior fighting for this. Do you have any ideas on how the people of Montana can get behind a particular project or a program that you have an idea that we can get people off the couch and get them out here to start fighting for our rights?
I appreciate that question. We certainly do like to complain. We definitely need more people involved. I'm very pleased with Senator Steve Daines and Greg Gianforte getting behind the WSA bills. I think that's a fantastic step in the right direction. I'm very, very proud of our Ravalli County Commissioners taking the step that they most recently have in writing the letter to Attorney General Fox asking him to do the investigation on these green decoy groups and where exactly is their money coming from. That's hugely, hugely important. We knew in the 2015 session when Senator Jennifer Fielder brought a bill that specifically stated that any public lands transferred from the federal government to the state government would not be sold, and they showed up in full force to oppose that bill, and when in reality and in theory they should have been there in full force to support that bill. We knew there was a major, major problem. There is something very, very wrong with that scenario, and the meat of it is that they have run away with that public lands narrative, and we have let them. And I think we need to take responsibility for that, and we need to just start fighting back with the truth. $1 of truth is worth $1 million of lies, and that's why you're so important and so vital in this process, is that you're out there broadcasting the truth. The truth is that the state manages our lands 5 times better than the federal government. So the state has a model that's working, and the feds could actually learn something from the state, from the DNRC. So we need all hands on board. We need all minds in the game. It's not rocket scientists. You know, we certainly can manage the public lands. A lot of it is getting the regulations out of the way so that we can actually do it.
The other part of it is we've joked around and said we should have a couch burning party so we get everybody out and get them engaged, and maybe we'll continue working on that idea, see if we can get the people out and get them on the front page and standing beside us to make the right things happen.
Absolutely. Have them call me. Please broadcast my phone number. I am currently going around and talking to all of our elder ranchers and farmers and all the elders in our community that I can, and gathering as much information about how they grew up. What was the valley like in times when they grew up as I can, because that contributes to our custom, culture, and history.
Keep up the good work, Representative, and thank you for your time, and we will continue standing shoulder to shoulder here in Montana, making sure the people are informed of what's going on, and hopefully in advance of what happens, so that we can be proactive.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tim. Thanks for all you do.
Okay, thank you, and have a good